Okay, so it starts out like, okay, so you're playing as Marcus Phoenix, right? And he's like some army guy, right? And he's kind of old. He's kind of old. I can't really tell. He's kind of old, but he's like an army guy, and he's in jail. And he's in jail because like he did something bad. You don't really know what it is right now, but he did something bad. And then like it's pretty much the end of the world. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's like pretty much the end of the world. And then some guy comes and breaks you out. His name is Dominic, and he's Hispanic. Yeah, he comes and he breaks you out, and then like Marcus is like, why? Why? And then he's like, cause we're like losing out there. And then Marcus is like, oh, okay, I'll help out. And then he starts helping out. And what else happens? This is the first one. This is the first game. What is it? Like yeah, that's just it. He just starts helping out. Like let me think. Well, like I'll just run down the story. Like basically, yeah, he's helping out. That's his job. And he's really good at it, apparently. Cause like then one guy is like, "Oh man, are you Marcus Phoenix?" And then Marcus is like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Oh man, are you the guy from Astro Fields?" Cause apparently like that was a battle that he partook in. And then he's like, "Yeah." And then the guy's like, "Cool." And that's it. And then okay, so the big plan of the whole thing of the first game is like, the whole plan is like, okay, we're gonna put a bomb. We're gonna bomb them. That's it. We're gonna like give them a bomb, and that's the whole thing of the first game. That's like the whole, like pretty much the main story of it is to, yeah, you're gonna blow them up. But the enticing part, the interesting part of the series was like, and the part that got everyone's attention was that the video game series and like the trailers especially the one called Mad World, the one that had the song Mad World playing in it. You can look it up yourself. You have fingers. That one like pretty much showed the gist of like how dark things were in the video game. Like it was just sad because it was the end of the world, and like, you know, like that, yeah, like we're really struggling and things are really bad because of these monsters, just these monsters that are just destroying us. And yeah, that's the gist of it. And then in the first one, yeah, like, so yeah, you just go to bomb them, and then at the end of the game, you pretty much do that. I think you figure out some things throughout the game. Like you figure out some things. I don't really remember what you figure out in the first one, but in the second one, let's see, what do you do? Like this is when you actually, like, the humans actually make a plan. Okay, let's go inside the earth now. Let's go where the locusts are coming from, and let's go kick their ass. I forget why we're doing that, but we're going to go do that. And then that's how the second one starts out. So you go on these like big old battleship things with wheels, and you go to this one spot in order to drill into the earth. And by like you're going to go into the earth with like your soldiers. You're gonna drill in there in like a drop pod, like Helldivers, except you're gonna do it like in the ground. And then you go in, and like, you know, you have to drive all the way over there, and it's like a cool mission. And you drop, and you dig in there, and that's it. You pretty much go in there. And I think the whole intent on that one was to be like, okay, now we're gonna go in there and we're gonna kill them in their own bedroom. Yeah. And like, so you drop in, and then you start learning things throughout the game, like I think that in that one you start learning things that like where the locusts kind of originate from, because there's like a part in the game where like you have to go through like a weird hospital thing, and like some guy is talking, and you start, and like the gist of it is like you start learning that it's not like blatantly clear, but you kind of they give off like the saying, hey, the locusts were kind of made by humans because they are humans, and then you got to read the comics to really understand it, because like the locusts are humans, but throughout years of deformation and like banging each other and like rotting away. Oh, and by the way, it also in the second one, and I think in the first one they revealed too. Okay, let's go back to the first one and back to the whole main story. So then the whole thing is like lots of wars started out in humanity. Like we had Earth, but then we moved to Sarah, and like, yeah, we moved to a place called Sarah, and then we found a thing called emulsion, right? And then emulsion is like this, it's just energy. It's great. It's energy, and we love it, and we start going to war for it because we need it. Why? Because we need to power our N64s and stuff. But then in the second one, or I think in the first one, but at one of them, you start learning that emulsion is actually causing mutations in the locust, and it's causing them to go lambent, Lambent, and it basically turns them into like even more monsters, like even to the point where like even the locusts are like, oh my god, what the heck is that? Oh my god, like that, and they explode when you kill them. So yeah, that's kind of cool. And then in the second one, yeah, you drop in there, and then your whole intention is to like kill them even more, I think. Oh, and then like you have cities. There's cities on the Earth, right? And then like you're living in a place called Jacinto right now, which is one of the last, like not the last, but like it's like, I think it's actually the last city that's like really big, like really, really big. And the locusts are, there's been like news reports and stuff that the locusts are taking down cities like throughout the planet, I guess, in like as a whole. Like entire cities are just like sinking down into the earth and like dying. And then in the second one, you drill in, and then you learn that the way they're doing that is they're using a giant worm, like a huge worm to create to like sink cities like that. And then there's a scene where Marcus is like, oh my god, Anya, they're sinking cities using a giant worm. Ah, yeah. And yeah, like you go, and then there's a game scene thing where you actually go in the worm, and then you have to end up killing it, and then you end up killing it, and like the locusts are sad about that. They're just like, oh man, I like that thing. So yeah, there's that, and then you escape, and you get out of the worm, and then you like go back inside the locust thing again, and then you fight like their priest, because there's a priest. Yeah. Oh crap! I forgot about talking about Ram. I love Ram. Ram is in the first one. You have to fight Ram at the end of the first one. In order to like set the bomb off, you have to fight Ram, a guy named Ram, General Ram, I'll have you know. And I play as him. I exclusively play as him in multiplayer, and he's really cool. He wears all black, so yeah, he's cool, and he uses a sword, so that's cool. And you kill him, but yeah, he's in the first one. And you kill him. He's the final boss, and he like uses bats as a weapon. It's so cool, so cool. And then in the second one, you fight like a priest guy, and his name is Scorn, and he uses like a spear, but like a spear that has like a chainsaw on both ends. That's his weapon, and he's not as cool at all. He's just like kind of a dork in my opinion. And then you end up fighting him, and he's like the priest of like the locust, whatever. And then you kill him, and you escape. What else happens? Oh, you end up sinking Jacinto, and you hear like a thing from Marcus's dad, like a little like a clip at the end of it. I think it's him, like I forget what he says, but it's one of these two things. He's either saying like, "Oh man, you sunk Jacinto. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't sink. Oh my god. You have no idea what you're doing. Oh my god. Oh my god." Like that. Or he's saying something like, "Oh man, we gotta sink Jacinto. It'll be great. But oh my god, it'll also be so bad. Oh my god." I forget what happens. Let me think. So yeah, you end up like sinking your own city, Jacinto. At first you were trying to like avoid trying to stop the locust from doing that. But then like you eventually find a thing and you're like, "Oh man, we should sink the city in Jacinto because all of the water that's surrounding the city will flood the locust horde." That's like the holes where they live in, because the locusts come from underground, and they are mutations of humans that that evolved over an elongated period of time, and that were accentuated by the emulsion mutation, which made them even worse because then they turned lambent, and then like the lambent fight locusts, like I told you before. Anyway, so yeah, they're like, the plan is now, all right, let's sink Jacinto to kill even more of them. And so that's the plan, and then you do that at the end of the game. I forget how you do that, but you do that, and then you start flying away on a helicopter, and then I think you hear the locust queen say something like, "Oh man, you think you won, but you didn't win yet." And then she said something similar to that at the first game. At the end of the first game, she's like, "Oh man, you think you won, but you didn't do that." And then she kind of says that at the end of the second game as well, I think. And then you see like at the end of the second game, it's kind of funny because like you see like this locust guy like that's sitting on like a. Oh no wait, that was the first one. Never mind. Well, in the first one, like at the end of the first one, you see like this quick little like cut scene of like this guy that's sitting on like a flying like fly, a big fly, and he's like got a huge cape, and you're like, "Damn, who's that guy? Is that like Ram's like dad or something?" And it turned out to be no one. I mean, the beast that he's like sitting on, that ended up being like a thing that the queen uses, I believe, in the third one when you fight her. But the guy who was like sitting on it, I don't think he ever got used. I think he definitely represented someone, but I just don't. I think they kind of scrapped it. Yeah. Okay, so in the second one, so in the first one you bomb them. That's it. You sent them a bomb, and yeah. And then in the second one, you sink your own city in order to kill them even more. First one's multiplayer was really good. It got it super famous. I played it as a child because I can, and I'm an American. You wouldn't understand if you're not American. And then the second one, the multiplayer was really fucking broken. Oh yeah, it was broken. It eventually, at the least, as what I can recall, it was broken to all hell. It was just unplayable. And then the third one came out, and then that one had the best multiplayer in my opinion, and that was the best one in general. And every game in the series was an improvement on the last. Like in the first one, it was the first one, and then in the second one they added things like even more executions, and then you can like pick up the body and use it as a shield, and then in the third one they added like Like I think they added new weapons. Yeah, they added like a retro lancer that had like a new execution and a new style of combat, and they added even more executions, and then they added a robot, and then they added like a mech that you can pilot, and then they added the lambent, which was like a new enemy that like was a mutant, and like it could grow, like it was part of the locust, and it could like grow arms out of its back and turn all monstrous like the Thing. You ever seen the movie The Thing from the 80s? Like it would turn into something like that, and it would just it was so cool. So cool. So goddamn cool. Yeah, the third one was my favorite. I mean, like, it was the best. Like, anyone who disagrees, I think, is just like, I definitely think they're just gripping onto nostalgia. Like, the third one is the best. The third one is the best. Anyone with a rationality and a high intellect and a high intelligence quotient would understand that, yeah, I think it is the best. Yeah, it is the best. It is the best. I mean, like, it is. It's really good. And the multiplayer worked phenomenally well. It was just perfect. It was perfect. And then the third one, what happens in the third one? So, like, the city's gone, and humanity is, like... In the third one, I liked how it kind of started off, because it was like, the war is over. The war is over. I mean, did humans win? But it's over. Like, because the locusts are, like, really, really low. And now everyone is, like, either living on, like, ships or camping. Because, like, everything's pretty much destroyed. And it's really cool. I really liked that. So, yeah, that's how the third one ended up. And then they added robots like mechs. So cool. So cool. And Clayton Carmine is the coolest Carmine, and I play as him exclusively as well in multiplayer. Anyway, so then the third one, what is the third one about? So the third one is like kind of like primarily at first it starts off with just being about survival, and then like I'm like drawing blanks here, but like Marcus like finds something out about his dad. Like he sees a video about his dad, and his dad's like a scientist, like a super scientist, and then like his dad says the thing that makes Marcus goes like, oh man, we gotta go do this thing. We should like do this thing that my father said. And everyone's like, why? And then Marcus is like, because it'll really kill the locust like twice this time. It'll kill the locust twice. And everyone's like, oh, okay, let's do that. I think. I don't really fucking remember. Oh yeah, it's like I think they figured this out either at the end or like the beginning of the game, but like they learned that his father made a bomb that will kill everything that has been infected with emulsion and emulsion in general. So all emulsion like entities. Oh, and emulsion, the thing that we use as an energy source, that's actually a creature. It's like a bacteria, and that's why it's causing mutations, is because like it's taking over their body. It's like a parasite. That's what emulsion is, but we use it as an energy source, but we didn't know that, and it slowly caused us to mutate, and it slowly caused the locust to actually be born, because we would start like getting emulsion, and we would get infected, and we would start mutate, and then we would bang each other as we slowly start mutating, and then we eventually became locust, and there you go. Which is weird, I think, because like the locusts then become lambent, and then the locusts don't like lambent. They start fighting each other in the second one, and that's what like start to make them feel bad, because they're like, oh man, now we're fighting two wars. But anyway, the third one is really cool because like, so the second one established what lambency is and what emulsion is, and then the third one, what's like the enemies become the lambent and the locust. And the locusts are also fighting two fronts on the humans and the lambent. So cool, because like now you're fighting mutated locust and like mid-fight while you're fighting like some of the Lambents, they'll just mutate and turn into like super monstrous things like Venom. Like think of like yeah, they'll kind of like turn into Venom. You know, Venom from the movie, like Spider-Man Venom. They would turn into something like that. So cool. It was so cool. Goddamn. So yeah, the gist of it is like everyone that's like a good guy, the humans are like, all right, let's go do this thing and go up to this tower to start this thing that'll kill everything that's not human. And so we go do that, and in order to do that, we have to fight the queen, because she's the final boss in the game. And yeah, you kill her, and she's like flying around on this thing that like flies around. I think it was the creature that was actually like shown in the first game at the end of the first game that I told you like that guy was riding, but they never used the guy, but they did use the creature, and I think she was riding that. That's what it looked like she was riding, but it also looked similar to this thing that was in the second game that the boss was riding as well. So I don't know, whatever. So yeah, you fight her, and then you kill her. But like, yeah, you kill her, you like, Marcus like walks up to her and he's like, hey, you bitch, this is for everyone that you've ever killed, you stinky whore. And then he stabs her in like the rib, and then she dies. And it's pretty cool because like the final scene is like they trigger the bomb thing that his father was talking about, and it just like sends out pulse waves throughout the entire planet, and you just see everything that was like everything that's a locust and everything that's like lambent just die. It's pretty cool, but all the humans are okay. Well, except for Marcus's dad, because you meet his dad like in real life. You meet his dad, and his dad is like also infected with lambency. Like he's like, it's weird. Like I forget what it is, but he has a lot of emulsion in him, but he's not lambent. He's just like he's just got it. And there's another thing, like yeah, whatever, humans can also go lambent. Like they don't have to go locust, they can just go straight up lambent, and they just become like glowy, kind of scrawny looking guys that run at you and explode. And that's yeah, there you go. But yeah, his father dies after you trigger the bomb too, because like his father has a lot of emulsion in him, I guess. And then he's like, and Marcus, I love you. And then Marcus is like, bye, Dad. And then his father dies. And that's how the third one ends. Yeah, like you kill everything. You kill everything, and that's it. That's how the third one ends. And then so that's the first one, the second one, and the third one. Yep, that's the whole series. Locust, we were on Earth, and now we're not on Earth because like we killed it, and now we're on Sarah, and we find energy, and we start using it. That energy starts turning us into locusts, and we start having sex with each other, and then the locusts start killing us, and then we send them a bomb, and then we go in there to kill them even more by sinking our own city and flooding their house with water. And then that kind of worked, and then the third one came out, and then we all start camping because we don't have a house, and then we blow them up again with like a pulse. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Let me think. I mean, the multiplayer was really good. I really liked the multiplayer in the third one. I mean, the multiplayer in the fourth one and the fifth one are perfectly fine. I still like them. I still play them. I'm like really good. Lots of Hispanic people there though. And I'm also Hispanic. But I mean, okay. Yes. And then the fourth one comes out, and what happens in the fourth one? You won't even believe it. You won't even believe it. They come back. They come back. So I thought the fourth one was really gonna be something like, oh, we're gonna be able to we're gonna explore more of Sarah now. Like we're gonna start reclaiming Sarah, and we're gonna start fighting we're gonna start fighting creatures and stuff, maybe mutated creatures or something like that. I don't know. We'd have to go around Sarah, But no, what happens? You're not oh my god, I'm not making this up at all. But so what they come up with for the enemy in the fourth one is the Locust are back, but give them a new name. They're called the Horde now, and put crystals on their body, and that's it. That's literally it. The Locusts are just back. That's 100% it. The Locusts are back. They say that. They blatantly say that. It's kind of it's just okay, but it took time for them to come back. So humanity has redeveloped, and now we have more weapons, and we have more firepower and stuff. So we stand more of a chance, and I do think that's kind of cool because our government is a bit more established. We actually have proper leadership, and yeah. So I think that's kind of cool. Thing time has passed, but I really I think they should have had Marcus kind of die, that much time passes, and it's just a completely new generation. But no, you play as Marcus's son, and his son's friends, and Marcus is still in the game, and a lot of Marcus's friends are still in the game. Pretty much everyone is. Well, except for Anya, which is Marcus's girlfriend, and the person you're playing, the main character you're playing as, is his mom. She's dead. I think she got a disease or something, or she just died of old age. Oh well, I mean maybe, I don't know, but she died. Yeah. And then so what happens in the fourth one? So yeah, the Locusts come back. And everyone's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, ah. And that's it. There's not really much else. The Locusts are back, and you're all just freaking out, and you have to kill them, and you have to defend yourselves, and that's it. And then in the fifth one, I forget what happens at the end of the fourth one. You fight something big. That's pretty much you fight something big. Yeah. The multiplayer is good though. I like the multiplayer. And by the way, the fourth one, after the fourth one came out, that's when the original creator of the Gears of War series, that's when he gave the lead role to his friend. And here's a little fun fact about projects and things that you do, is that if you gave it away to someone who you think is super passionate about it and will just get it right. They're just gonna get it right because they know what to do. They know how this is, and they worked with you the whole way. Even though it was your idea, but yeah, they know what to do. They know how to treat it. It's not the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. You're stupid if you believe that. Yes. Anyway, so. What happened in the fourth one? I don't really remember. You fight something. Yeah. And the Locusts are back. But and the Lambents aren't back. Yeah. And then the fifth one came out. And what happened in the fifth one? Okay, so now your main character kind of, you're still playing as Marcus's son. But the main character is kind of a girl now, a Hispanic girl. I forgot her name. And hold on, I got a burp. You're playing, so and then it's the story goes through a thing saying oh, her family is actually this girl's blood. Because there's also people out there in the world that don't believe in the government or something like that, and they're called stragglers or something. I don't remember. But yeah, her family blood is actually part, like, used to be like the locust like leadership, I think. Like that's what her like her grandmother was. Like I think like kind of like the gist of it is like her grandmother may or may not have been like the locust queen or something. I don't really remember. But it gets to a point where even the horde, the new locust guys with crystals on their back, the horde like tries to kidnap her and some of her family, I think. And then she's like, and then when they kidnap her mom, the girl walks up to one of the horde general guys and she's like, where is she? And then the guy is like, she is where she belongs, because they're using her as like a leadership thing because she used to be their leader in some way, shape, or form or something. And then you end up like fighting them and killing them, and I think you have I don't remember what happens to her. I don't even know if you find the mother or like her mother or something, but like you see like at the end, one of the very last scenes is like the girl that is one of the main characters. She's saying something. She says something like, my mother gave me this necklace. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty necklace." And then like the camera zooms in on the necklace, and then on the back of the necklace is like the symbol for the locust, I think. Like they're like the locust have like a symbol that represents them, and then the back of her necklace has that symbol. So that just goes to show that yeah, her family was actually, I think, had to do with the leader leading the locust, and that's why the horde wants her like family back. And then in the multiplayer it's weird because in the multiplayer you can play as different characters, right? And one of the characters you can pick is like a girl called Reina, but like she's super mutated and she looks like she's wearing a dress that's made out of meat. I don't understand that because it's a DLC character or something, or a character that you have to buy, so I don't get it. I don't get it. And then the fifth one ends, and the multiplayer is fine. The multiplayer is just fine. Like it's weird because like I said, in the 1 through 3 they kept developing the multiplayer and adding stuff, and you know, they added a robot like that you can pilot in one of the levels. Yeah, they took a lot of that shit out in the 4th one and 5th one. The lambents are gone. The mech that you can pilot is gone. A lot of the guns, like a lot of big guns that they added to the 3rd one are gone. What else is gone? They changed how Horde works. There used to be a game mode called Horde, or like I forget what it was called. It was like a wave, like fight this wave of enemies, fight this next wave, etc. and so forth. They're mowing the lawn, sorry. And yeah, fight this enemy, fight these enemies. And yeah, what else? But they kind of kept that idea of it, that game style in it, but they changed it dramatically. Yeah, they just changed it. It's different now, and the mech isn't in the game anymore. I said that like 3 times. I really like mechs. I really like mechas, and they took it away. 2 seconds. So yeah, I forget how the 4th one ends, but the 4th one ends like on a cliffhanger, and I have no idea what they're gonna do for the 5th one. Like I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do with the 5th one because because I really don't think that they have like an idea of where to go with it at first, but I think they're trying to get Cliff Bleszinski, the main person who made the game, back, because they're like, yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. Can you do this again? Because I have no idea what I'm doing and nobody likes me. Yeah. But they're coming out with a new one. The latest one that's coming out that they recently made a trailer for is called Gears of War E-Day. Hold on. E-Day. And that's basically, it's a prequel to the entire series, because the first one came out like after E-Day and like when we were on the brink of death, like all of human race. So E-Day is like the day the locust popped out of the ground and started killing everyone. So that's going to be the next game that is gonna come out. I'm pretty excited for it. I hope it's really good. Everyone hopes it's really good. Yeah, and that's about it. Let me think. What else? Anything I'm missing? That was the first one. Fourth one, I have no idea what the fuck happened. Fifth one, I have no idea what the fuck happened. And the whole game kind of ended in the third one. And then everything else is pretty much like, and then there was Judgment, Gears of War Judgment, but nobody liked that. And if you did like it, then you have like a bad taste in things, and you should probably not participate in voting for things. Yeah. So yeah, that was 1, 2, 3, and then the whole series pretty much ended, and then they started to make more because they want money, and then the fourth one and fifth one came out, and now E-Day is coming out, and God, I hope it's good. God, I hope it's good. And that's about it. If I'm missing anything, please leave it in the comments, discuss it. Have a great day. I love you. I love Gears of War. I still play it. I'm really good at it. Everyone's so impressed whenever I play it all the time. I am really good at it. I don't even have to try. I actually do use the chainsaw. Like, no one uses the chainsaw in multiplayer. Everyone just like spams using the shotgun. But I actually use the chainsaw, and I use it effectively. Like I use it, and like, no, I don't die immediately after using it, because I know how to use it well. I know how to use it well. All right, have a good night.